I'll be showing you how to use custom hooks today, generally custom hooks. And today, the custom hook we're creating is the use fetch. So you know how you fetch your data as normally you use the fetch API, and some people use Axios. We'll be using the both of them today. I'll be showing you how to use both the fetch API and the Axios in case you're new to them at least. Use that to know about it. And those who already know about it, use it as a refresher. And the custom hooks today we're talking about is the use fetch and the use Axios. Yeah, you know of use state, you know of use effect. Now custom hooks are hooks, something you create yourself. You create it so you can use it separately, so you can reuse it wherever you need to. Instead of having to call an API, or maybe you want to get something from an API over and over again, and now you're talking about different APIs. Having to call using the same code over and over again, it's not called for. So it's something the custom hooks take care of. And I see custom hooks majorly applied and more useful, I don't know, to me right now, more useful with calling APIs and fetching APIs, fetching data from APIs. So we'll be using let's just create a folder. I'll call it custom hooks. Within my custom hooks, I'll create a file, use fetch. Please take note of the naming convention here. Just like you would have use state, use effect, and the likes, I'm using use fetch. Take note of the naming convention. And all I need to do is my normal, REFCE, you can just put it in there. And just like you normally would for the fetch, just that it's going to take in a parameter of URL, and then you just work with it normally. So we need to store our data. So we have a state for that. You say data and set data, and we have use states for that. At the moment it's just been null. Then we have the same for our error, and we also have the same for this. It's also going to be null. I'm going to create another for loading. Yeah, loading. So we have loading and the set loading. So use states, and initially it will be true. So definitely we start loading initially. Then we need our use effect. So our use effect, we need a function that calls just like you normally would but in case you're doing this for the first time, you need a function within the use effect that you use in fetching the API. So we create a function, let's say fetch data. And since we're fetching the data from API also, you just have to include your async. We'll be using the async await. So to account for errors, we're going to use the try catch block. You know, try. The first thing we need a response from our data. We use the await. Then we say fetch. Now we'll be fetching the data from the link, and that's what we're passing as parameter here because we want to be able to reuse it over and over wherever we need to, and wherever there's a change in URL and we need to fetch data from that source. So we're going to pass URL within this, and you need to store the data. First thing, you need to pass it to JSON because you're using fetch API here. So I then just call this results and await again and say response dot JSON. Then you all just set your data to results, and that's all. Then to account for error, we can just set our error to be the error dot message. I think I have 3 S's here now. Alright, then we should also include a finally that runs regardless of whatever happens. If we get the result or if there's an error, what do you think we're going to put here? We have to set our loading to false. We don't want it loading forever. So we set our loading to false, and we're done. We just call our function, fetch data, and we want this effect to run after certain changes. At this point, it's always going to run after every render, after every refreshing or something. It's always going to re-render. So you need to add a dependency here saying I only want you to go over and fetch the URL once there's a change in the URL. And we're done. We have to return three things here. We need to return the data, we need to return the error, and we need to return our loading state. So once you're done with it, you can now use it easily anywhere you need to. If, for instance, I don't know, I did not plan doing this. If, for instance, you want to get data from somewhere, let's just say products, what was that? Oh my, okay, I created some what I should not create, sorry. So I'll just create products, the GSX, alright. REFC, and what if I want to use that, the use fetch that I just created, I just have to import it normally. Import the use fetch. Now I'm having capital U. Is there something? Okay, I'm having capital U. Please make sure you correct that. It should not be capital U. So you have the use fetch, just like use effect and use state. So I'll just import it again. That's the use fetch. Good. Alright, so my use fetch, I just have to apply that. So for me to get the data and everything from the use fetch, all I need to do is just destructure it and say I'm getting my data, the error, not this error, and the loading state from the use fetch. I'm going to take in a parameter, you can see URL. So whatever link it is, you're going to put within this, and you apply it within your return statement, your JSX, just like you normally would, and you're all set. Alright, so I'll show you how to use Axios. So let me just use it. Use Axios.gsx. Alright. So it's going to take the same approach, just a little bit different. A little difference there. No big difference there. So all you just need to do, definitely you need to get your data. And you have your use states. You're setting this to null. And you also have for the error. And you have your use states also null. And you have your loading. And you have your set loading. And you also have your use state and initially set it true. Alright, so you need your use effects here using the same approach. And we need a function. So we need to fetch our data. Then we pass our async here. Now here comes the difference. We're just going to put in our try catch here, just like you would. And yeah, definitely we need a finally, yeah, which we just set the loading at the end of it all to false. Okay, so here when we're trying to get the data, we just say the response will just be equal to, now you will have to import your Axios. If you've not gotten Axios, all you just need to do is say npm install Axios and you'll be fine. So I already have it, so all I need to do is come up here and say import Axios from Axios and you're fine. So you just come here and say const response and say await, and I'll call your Axios. Now you say dot get. Now you're getting. The reason why I just love Axios is you can easily be able to, if it literally makes sense, especially if you've worked the backend before. Axios.get meaning you're requesting data from backend. The post means you're giving out data and the rest delete and all. So Axios.get here tells you you're getting data from it. And another advantage here is Axios automatically passes it to JSON. So you don't need to do that again. All you just need to do is just say set data and you just put in your response dot data. Make sure you have the dot data there. That's where your data is stored. All right, so you have the data and you have your set data already. And the same thing we did here, I just set error, and we say error, that's message. And we'll find all you need to do is fetch our data, and our dependency, I want you to only go fetch data once there's a change on a URL. And the same thing we did in the last one, the same thing we do here. We have our data, our error, and our loading states. And to apply it, use the same approach. So all I just need to do is import my use Axios. I think, I don't know if the use here, okay, it's the way I want it. So I have the use Axios, and I can just apply the same thing, but instead use what? Axios, and you're fine. So those are the approach you can take into fetching data, and that's how custom hooks helps. So if you found valuable, to like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.